up, guys? DV Wizard again. It's 10:30 p.m. We got about 18 miles to our next door. Not that it has anything to do with what we're about to talk about. This time I'm talking about what I call the big three card games. Magic the Gathering, Pokemon trading card game, and YuGiOh. I believe Magic the Gathering is the oldest one, followed by Pokemon, then YuGiOh. And I think that has a lot to do, not necessarily, I guess I said that wrong. I guess the legacy and the success of each one shows based on their age. I believe of the three that Magic the Gathering is the most sound and the most strong and the most followed. One, because it was one of the bigger card games when it first came out. It didn't really have a whole lot of competition, so people played it. And Magic did such a good job with the artwork and the concepts and the gameplay that it draws a lot of different people from a lot of different walks of life to play the game. Pokemon, I think, was based for the younger generation. The cards are normally animated as opposed to realistic and more colorful. Some are cute, some are kind of trying to be dark, like they're trying to be like a darker style of portrait, but when you paint things with big googly anime eyes in the dark setting, it normally doesn't work out too well, as opposed to a magic card that is super detailed and some of them are very gothic, some of them are very bright and vibrant. It really depends on the style you want to play. So then after Pokemon and Magic came YuGiOh, and YuGiOh is kind of like a mix of them both. Card art style, it's like a realistic animation, like it shows the character, like you can tell it's animated, but it has a more realistic feel to it than Pokemon does. And if I had to like pick one that's better than the rest, of course I'm going to choose Magic the Gathering because A, I play it, and B, because it has a bigger following in my belief than YuGiOh or Pokemon. Now Pokemon I never really got into. I was more of the handheld game. I collected Pokemon cards for the collection. Just like a lot of people collected baseball cards for the collection. The same thing with Pokemon cards.
I'm going to say I've played all three, and out of the three, I would actually, out of the least I've had, the experience I've got with all three, and I still choose Magic over this guy right here, Wizard. He taught me how to play it, and well, I choose it over the other two because it's so much easier and it's a lot better to play. It's more. Now, it explains itself pretty much.
Like you said, like Magic is an easy game to play. It's not too horribly difficult. If you can read card text, you can basically play Magic. Pokemon, there's rules and there's rules and regulations in every game, but some of the rules and some of the specifics you have to get into is kind of hard on Pokemon. And it's not a very difficult game, but you have to have the energy to use stuff. And it's kind of like the mana in Magic, but I just think Pokemon's way different of a game. And then YuGiOh, there's a whole other set of ball game rules for that thing. That game has got from simple to ridiculous in a matter of years. It's pretty bad, but anybody with a Google search engine can figure them out pretty good. But I'm not going to sit here and say any particular game is better than the other. Like I've played all three. I prefer Magic. I believe Dylan prefers Magic. Like how I do it. Like I had a very, 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 very hefty Magic collection that I let go for $300 to one of my good friends. And then naturally, of course, I got back into the game, so I had to buy more shit again. Now I'm back up to not anywhere near the collection I have, but I have a fair amount of cards again. And the Magic is such a universal game, so many people can play in so many different formats and such. But there's different tournament styles and things. I play, I guess it's definitely not modern or whatever they call it, but I play basically any card goes without limitations. So if I wanted to run an artifact deck with Black Lotus and a bunch of Thopters that created mana and just do affinity for artifacts, I can do that without a ban list. Now, there are cards that are on a ban list for different styles of the games, and some cards you can't use because they're just stupid broken, and it's the whole one
like
thing.
That one deck you got that like gets broken really fast.
Which deck is that?
The leaf one or.
Okay, I have an elf deck. 2 years ago for Christmas, I bought the where I received the dual deck anthology, and if you don't know what that is, it's a Magic the Gathering anthology of decks. It's Angels versus Demons, Goblins versus Elves, Jace versus Chandra, and Lily versus Garuk. All good cards, a lot of good stuff. It was a really good collection for the money. I believe when it came out it was $150. I believe it was worth it. And the Commander was a new series that came off of, or a new style of play that came off of the standard 60 card decks in Magic the Gathering. I believe it originated up in Alaska, and it kind of took off from there, which is kind of cool. Definitely a different spin on the game. This guy has blue headlights, which is strange. So, like really blue headlights.
I can't really see it. It's too dark.
Yeah, well, good thing, because I was crashing my head like an idiot the whole time. Anyway, so Commander came in, you can get Commanders, and Commanders are a lot of really good stuff for a decent price. A lot of people's like, oh, well, a lot of people are going to say, oh, you can't combine those two decks. You can't combine stuff like that. It's not going to work. It's not going to be legal. Me and my friends, we don't play legal or on the illegal. Like, we don't say that you can't have more than one Soul Ring per deck, or you can't use this card because it's too broken. If you have that card and you are able to use it, then by all means, use it. For example, a card that's really freaking broken, I'm trying to think. I mean, I have that elf deck that just spawns elves, like it's water. I have a populate deck that does the same thing. I have a zombie deck that spawns a horde if you let it. It's anybody can, and from any walk of life, can play Magic. Like I said, I believe you have to be the younger generation to play Pokemon. You should, because it came out in '98, directed toward not '98, '96. I'm sorry. Or the handheld game came out in '96. I'm not entirely sure about the Pokemon trading card game, but it's based more towards the kids. It's simpler language. The combat system is different, and it's just, I believe, for a younger generation. YuGiOh, like I said, is a mix of both. It takes the seriousness of Magic, but the fun play of Pokemon, and it goes from there. Magic can be very competitive as long as any other competition, especially if you're a competitive person.
Just to put this in there, they actually live stream Magic tournaments on Twitch.tv. All you have to do is go on and look up like certain card games, like you can actually look up Magic and it will bring it up. So I mean, if you want to see like video, like short live streams or videos of it, go on Twitch or YouTube. Seriously.
If you want to see some of my Magic decks, just give me a shout. Shoot me a comment, say, hey, do you have this deck? If you do, can I maybe see a build or see what you did with it? I'll be happy to share with you. I'm not one of those guys who build a deck and then hide it. I'm one of those guys who build a deck if it works. I want y'all to know that it does work and it does work well. When I first initially built my populate deck, it was broken as shit. Now it's tweaked a little bit, it's not quite as broken. But my green elf deck is very broken. My red goblin deck is very broken. Not necessarily broken in a good way, but if I have enough mana and I have the right cards, then it's toast. You're beat. Now, YuGiOh, back kid after I went through Pokemon a little bit. Yu-Gi-Oh came out after Pokemon. It was an animated TV series. YuGiOh, of course, was an TV show where these cards were linked to old ancient Egypt and the Egyptian gods and all this other shit, which I thought was pretty dope. Definitely brought the interesting.
When I played it, I collected all 3 Egyptian gods, and I had the way to defeat them as well, which was the Pyramid of Light. And holy shit, that was like unbeatable. And if you had those 4 cards on top of like the blue eyes and
Shining.
and all that, dude, you're pretty much unbeatable.
Back in the day, yeah. Now that shit's just so freaking. It's easily taken care of now. And the cool thing about YuGiOh, which I will say about YuGiOh, is things that don't work tomorrow might work in a month. Excuse me. Or things that worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. And that's really with any card game. Like I could build a bomb act, dragon deck, and Magic, and then tomorrow someone will come in with a blue counter deck and completely obliterate me every time I went to play a high level dragon. Or I could be one of those bump. There's really annoying players that in Pokemon who run Switch like it's my job. Like you hit a Pokemon, I switch it out. You hit a Pokemon, I switch it out. You play a Pokemon, I hit it, switch it out. I mean, that's just really freaking annoying, especially when you try to hit a Pokemon with a big ass move, and then your opponent switches out to a better Pokemon against that type. I mean, it gets kind of strange about how turn-based goes, and it's 3-bit card games. That's pretty much what I call them. So, Dylan, damn dude.
Ready for that monster? I got you.
Yeah, I'll probably drink that here in a minute when we get there. We got 7 miles to the next door. Don't worry about it right now. I'll get when I get there.
Well, are we ready to end this? Or?
Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Pokemon players all over play them all. I don't discriminate against any of them. I don't talk shit about any of them. I prefer Magic over either one of the two, just because it's what I'm used to. I grew up on Pokemon. I grew up on Yu-Gi-Oh. I was introduced to Magic as an older adult, and as an older adult, I can appreciate it more than if I were 14 or 15 per se. So, if you want to get your kids into something that's going to make them spend money, that's not going to be on drugs, Magic, or card games are definitely going to be your way to go. So, yeah. On that note, this was my little spiel on the 3 big games. If you'd like to give me a thumbs up, subscribe so you can watch some more. Other than that, this is DV Wizard, DV Salem on the camera. Peace out.